If you're having AI problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but the tech ain't one. The pearl I'd like to share with everyone here is the answer as leaders to any question should never be because it's always been that way. As a newly minted or newly reminted educator rejoining the international school community after 8 years sabbatical in business, I think anytime we receive that answer, especially a new teacher, it does a lot of damage, unseen damage to the morale of the newer teachers, and not new meaning newly arrived teachers who are looking at things with fresh eyes. About 8 years ago, my wife and I guess it's been 10 years now. Wow, never mind. 10 years ago, my wife and I had our first son in Tokyo. I was at Tokyo International School, and my wife was at Seisen. We had lovely jobs, loved our school, loved our communities, but realized we wanted to establish a home culture with our children after much debate. We moved back to the United States. And I'm sure, as many of us know, trying to raise a family on a teacher salary in the United States is quite difficult. So I made the switch to Optimal Hearing, which was our family's audiology and hearing aid company, which we ended up growing over the 8 years I was with the company. And we exited that company, selling it to a Danish firm about a year and a half ago, and my wife and I decided it was very important to us to reestablish and instill in our two children now the love of international culture, language study, and seeing the world. So we moved to the Patagonia, where we saw Argentina win the World Cup, and I'm sure if you've met an Argentine recently, they let you know that as well. And we've since moved to Lima, Peru, where I started working at Colegio Peruano Británico and teaching English, middle school, and IBDP. So entering a new place, you see a lot of things with fresh eyes. I arrived after 3 weeks of planning to pick up, yes, 3 weeks of pre-planning. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but 3 weeks of pre-planning to pick up some printing I had done for my first class. And I went the printer is down in the basement, and you have to go down some stairs to get them. And I went to pick them up and the door was locked. I said, that's interesting. I guess they're in the bathroom, or no one's there today. I'll come back in an hour and grab my printing. Nope. They weren't. A couple times during the day, I finally asked, I said, well, why is the door locked? Why can't I go grab my printing? And they looked at me and said, oh, it's always been that way. Right? The door's locked. You can pick printing up from 7:30 to 7:40 in the morning, or from 3 to 3:20 in the afternoon, because it's just always been that way. No one can give me a fair answer, and that's not there's several little things like this within schools. And coming back to the AI policy, I asked about ChatGPT. This is prior to this course, and how can it be used in the classroom? And like, oh, it's banned. It's not allowed. And I said, well, why? I was like, well, it's always been that way. And it led me to kind of diminishes the question when the answer isn't given a thoughtful response. So when people come looking for challenges or operational issues with new eyes, they're seeking a new understanding, and it should be seen as a new opportunity for innovation, a new opportunity for engagement to create a collaborative culture within a school, as opposed to just kind of pushing it away and saying, well, you know what, it's always been that way. Fresh eyes can see the opportunities where others have seen the old way as the status quo. And I'm challenging us as educational leaders, as aspiring educational leaders in my case, or classroom teachers, who are also leaders, as we've learned throughout this course, that implementing an AI policy in a thoughtful and creative way, as opposed to just pushing it aside and saying, we can't do it because or we can't allow this into the classroom, is the equivalent of saying it's always been this way. It's the equivalent of trying to put the genie back in the bottle, and that's just not possible. So, in summary, I will challenge us all to use the digital tools that have been made available to us through this course, the thinking that's been made available through this course, to craft thoughtful policies where the old way is no longer sufficient. So to summarize, I will quote the great thought leader, Jay-Z, and he said, if you're having AI problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but the tech ain't one. Thank you.